Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Study Sphere, the online education platform. You can also visit us on YouTube channel, TikTok, Facebook page, LinkedIn, X, formerly called as Twitter, and the Instagram. Today we are going to study the subject science, grade 4. Here is chapter 1, characteristics of major groups of living things. First, we want to discuss the difference between the living things and the non-living things. Here we can see living things that grow while the non-living things don't grow. Living things need air, food, water, and shelter to survive in an environment, whereas the non-living things don't need air, food, water, and shelter. Examples of the living things: all the plants and animals are living things, whereas the examples of non-living things, just like stone, table, chair, and etc. This is the flowchart of characteristics of living things. There are several different types of characteristics of living things. First, living things eat. Number 2, living things breathe. Number 3, living things get rid of waste. Number 4, living things move. Number 5, living things grow. Number 6, living things respond. And the last one is living things reproduce, means they produce their generations. First characteristics: living things eat. Plants make their own food in their leaves. The ingredients which are used by the plants to prepare their own foods: number 1, light from the sun. Number 2, carbon dioxide or CO2 gas obtained from the air. Number 3, water and minerals from the soil. Plants make their own food by absorbing water and minerals from the soil. They also absorb carbon dioxide from air, and in the presence of sunlight, a chemical reaction takes place by which they prepare something which is their food, and they use it to grow and to stay alive. On the other hand, animals have different sources of their food. Number 1, some animals feed on plants. These animals are called herbivores because they eat herbs and plants. Some animals feed on other animals. These animals are called carnivores, such as lion and other animals. Number 3, the animals that feed both on plants and animals. These are named as omnivores. Let's take the examples of these animals and plants to better understand. Here you can see the diagram of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process of making food by the plants. You know that plant makes their own food by absorbing water and minerals from the soil through their roots. These water and mineral passes through the stem and go to the leaves. Here they absorb carbon dioxide from the air through stomata, and when sunlight shines on the plant's leaf, they prepare their own food using a process which is known as photosynthesis. This food is used to grow and to stay alive the plants. On the other hand, animals are divided into two categories based on their foods from where they obtain. Some animals which eat other animals. These are named as carnivores. You can see the examples of these animals on the top. The other animals that eat plants are known as herbivores. In the middle you can see the example of these animals. On the third ones are omnivores. These are the animals that feed on the plants and other animals. In the bottom of the picture you can see the examples of omnivores. The second characteristics of living things is living things breathe. You know that all living things breathe. First we discuss the plants. Plants inhale or take in the carbon dioxide gas while they take out or exhale oxygen gas. The animals, on the other hand, have totally different behavior. They take in oxygen released by the plants and exhale carbon dioxide, which is used by the plants to prepare their own food. Land animals inhale oxygen from the air, whereas the animals which live in water take oxygen from the water. Example 1. Here, this is the respiration of plants. Plants breathe through tiny holes called stomata. You can see the picture, the leaf of a plant showing stomatas. Some stomatas are closed while a stomata is open. This when stomata is open, plant leaf absorb carbon dioxide through this stomata and prepare their own food, whereas it inhale carbon dioxide and exhale water vapors and oxygen gas. Now we study another example. The second example is about humans. Humans and most animals breathe through their nose. Oxygen enters through the nose and it reaches the lungs of the human or other animals. Whereas during the breath, carbon dioxide gas is produced and this is exhaled through the nose. Third example is about the fish. Fish breathe through their gills. Actually, water has oxygen. Water flows through the mouth. It enters in the through the mouth in the fish, and water flows over the gills, then run out. You can see that water enters through the mouth and goes out through the gills. Here, the oxygen containing water is absorbed in their gills of the fish, and in the same way the fish takes breath. The fourth example is of frog. Frog breathe through their moist body. This is the body of the frog which is already moist. It takes in the oxygen through this moist body and exhale carbon dioxide through their skin. When oxygen enters through the skin, it goes to the lungs, and after breath, carbon dioxide that is produced exhaled through the skin. This is the special example of frog. Example 5. When we talk about the insects breathe through tiny holes called spiracles. You can see this is an insect, and on one side of this insect there are small holes like this, and this. This type of tiny holes are called spiracles. Insect takes breath through these small holes called spiracles, and inside the body there is a network of tubes where they use oxygen. Here is an amazing fact. Lungfish, a special type of fish, breathe through their gills when water is plentiful. Uh, you can say, in other words, in the presence of large amount of water or the excess of water, lungfish inhale oxygen from the water. Whereas in drier conditions, when there is less amount of water, the same lungfish breathe through their lungs. This is the speciality of the lungfish.